All right, let's get right into it. Week 8 of the Shore Caucus United Football League. Man, it completely rewrote the script for this season. We saw a historic massacre. We saw contenders in a total free fall, and we saw games won and lost by a single coaching decision. So yeah, let's dive into this wild week. Everything. It all starts with this one number right here. 188.71. This is the single most important figure from Week 8, and it represents the highest score by any team all season long. So when you see a number that massive, you gotta ask, right? How on earth did that even happen? Well, it wasn't just a win. It was a statement that completely altered the league. And that brings us to our massacre of the week. This game between Lick D's Salty Balls and the Neptune Crack Killers was an absolute pummeling, one that really shook the entire league to its core.
And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? I mean, look at that gap. Lick D's Salty Balls puts up that record-setting 188.71 points, more than doubling up the Neptune Crack Killers' meager 77.42. It was a complete and total demolition. And the way they pulled it off was just a true offensive onslaught. I mean, get this, just 3 of their players, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and Bo Nix, combined for over 115 points. To put that into perspective, those 3 guys by themselves outscored the entire Neptune roster. This massive performance just catapulted Lickdies to become the top-scoring team in the SUFL. And really, that one historic game perfectly sets up the week's biggest narrative. 2 teams whose fortunes have just completely reversed, heading in polar opposite directions. And this slide, well, it says it all. On one side, you have the rising king, Lick D's Salty Balls. They were pretty much left for dead after starting the season 1-4. Now, they've rattled off a 3-game win streak to get right back to 500. On the other side, a complete and total collapse. The Neptune Crack Killers started a really promising 3-1, but now they are in an absolute freefall, losing 4 straight games to fall to 3-5. And yeah, Neptune isn't the only team feeling the pain right now. The downward spiral is hitting other teams hard too. Case in point, go to bed, it's a wrap. They also had a promising 3-2 start, but have since just cratered. And now they find themselves at 3-5 with an offense that's just been plagued by injuries and poor performances. But, it wasn't just about player performance. This week really proved just how crucial coaching decisions can be, swinging the outcomes of the closest and, let's be honest, most frustrating games. And this quote from our source material just captures it perfectly. It was, and I'm quoting here, a brutal coaching loss. Just a brutal, self-inflicted wound. So here's the breakdown of the disaster. Team Naz lost to Benny's and the Jets by just 1.79 points. I mean, that's a heartbreaker right there. But the real kick in the gut is what was sitting on their bench. They left both Drake May and Tucker Kraft on the pine. And get this, starting either one of those players would have been enough to win the game. It's the kind of decision that is just going to haunt a manager for the rest of the season. A completely, totally avoidable loss. Now for a little bit of league-specific lingo. When a player in your starting lineup gives you absolutely nothing, a big fat 0, it's called a Blutarski. It's that dreaded 0.0 performance. And this week's dubious owner, the Blutarski Award, goes to Jerry Jeudy. Yep, he put up a goose egg for the Wildwood Warthogs, a season-low moment that just absolutely sank their chances of winning. But hey, for every blunder, there's a moment of genius. On the flip side, you have the Bayshore Buzzards. They picked up the ageless wonder Joe Flacco from the waiver wire. And what does he do? He promptly rewards them with over 29 points. That single, smart pickup was the difference maker that powered them to a victory. So after all that chaos, the blowouts, the collapses, and all the coaching drama, what does the league actually look like? Let's take a look at the new world order. Here they are, the official standings after Week 8. AI FantasyBot is still sitting pretty up top at 6-2. But just look at the middle of the pack. It is a massive logjam of 5, count 'em, 5, teams all sitting at 4-4, including the resurgent Lick D Salty Balls on that 3-game win streak. And at the bottom, you can really see the damage. Neptune Crack Killers with that brutal 4-game losing streak. And all of this sets the stage for a absolutely critical Week 9. The SUFL has become a true war of attrition, where every single roster move
Every decision could be the difference between a playoff spot and an early exit. And here's a little preview of what's coming up. We've got some massive games on the docket. You've got two of those surging 4-4 teams, Bayshore and Lickdees, squaring off. The league-leading AI bot is taking on Bennies, who are basically fighting for their season. Every single game has huge playoff implications. So, with the standings this compressed and momentum swinging wildly from week to week, the playoff race is tighter than it's ever been. It leaves us with one final question as we head into the back half of the season. Who is actually built to last?